Today, I have a confession to make. I've been a teacher for a very long time, but in the process of becoming a teacher and working in several stations, I've come to realize some of the mistakes I've made, and I feel it will be good for the upcoming teachers and the current teachers also to learn from me if there are some things maybe they have made or not done well. I'm sure you can be able to make this world a better place by learning from our mistakes. So today, allow me make a confession. It's not one. I've done so many mistakes, but I pick a few I have done in the process of doing my work as a teacher. One main thing I want to make a confession about is that as I entered the profession of teaching, I was not financially literate. I didn't know much about investment, property, growth. I was not keen on the same. Even on savings, let me say, I was ignorant. I don't wish that for anybody, especially a teacher who is doing a lot of work to create the world and change the world. It's time you learn the new skills about investment, because without finances, the challenges become so many. Number two, neglecting self-care. Much of the time, I took a lot of my energy resources to think about the school, to think about the child, to think about my colleagues. Then sometimes I end up forgetting about myself. It's time you be conscious about yourself and know you are there. You are mental. Okay. Sometimes I could forget about my mental stability. Even my financial stability, even my physical stability. Sometimes I forget because every time, day to day, I could think about the school. So, any upcoming teacher, learn to set your own boundaries when it's appropriate. And then you can be able to grow in your profession and become also satisfied as an individual. Mistake number three. There's always the mistake I used to make of trying to be a perfectionist. Where I expected things to work as I want. I mean, students to pass as I want, students to get knowledge as I want. I didn't know that things are different sometimes. Circumstances change at times. That I have to have a flawless lesson, no disturbance, no problem. It's not possible. That thing is utopian. Yeah, sometimes you go to class, you find a student is sleeping totally, and you are teaching in class, maybe. A student has been distracted. Sometimes they hit each other in class, and you feel like this is no. That life, and those are children. I've come to learn that we need to tolerate some of the distractions, but of course, do it in the professional way. Another mistake I've come to realize is the mistake of not saying no. Sometimes there are so many requests that come. Some of them are professional, some of them are very personal. Maybe here you have committees, make a fundraiser, let's help so and so. You end up overcommitting yourself in every aspect. I've come to realize at the end of the day, even some of the things you have done, very few people will appreciate. So it's time you are able to say no to some of the unpaid work sometimes, which can lead to exhaustion. You need to have the energy of saying no. Not because you don't want to help, but because it's not the priority at that particular time. Another big challenge I've had in life as a teacher is avoiding help, avoiding seeking for help, professional help sometimes. So you think that you must handle everything. For example, you are the head of department, and I think I really want to do everything. School is a community. It requires you to ask for help. Sometimes you need professional help. Sometimes you need even a counselor. Sometimes you need even a financial manager and advisor. I mean, there is help. You can't be a complete human being without the help of others. Depending on the area, you need to collaborate with your colleagues. You need to work as a team. Shared responsibilities make life really very, very, very interesting in a school situation. Another challenge I came to realize is skipping breaks. Sometimes you're so concentrated on your duty, either classes, marking, you end up skipping breaks. Sometimes breaks, sometimes you skip lunch, sometimes you skip games. At the end of the day, you realize your body becomes weak. You need a healthy break. Otherwise, I have come to the conclusion that if you avoid those breaks, your productivity as a teacher will come down. And remember, so many people depend on you. And you may not realize because it's a continuous process. You are totally immersed in the school situation. So it's you to realize when the breaks are very necessary and you take them. Another challenge, another conversion I want to make is as a teacher, I feared technology, the development. I mean, even professional development, even technologically, I was a bit slow in catching up with technology. So when we started having things like email, things to do with ICT, things to do with now we're talking about AI. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. It's going to be surprising that 80% of teachers are still not conversant with AI. And I think that's a serious confession. Teachers, if you want to become a teacher or you're a teacher, get your own private time and get this extra knowledge. Get professionals, grow as a profession, as a professional. I mean, get the technology. These days we have a lot of information. You can get it online. You can get it on YouTube. You can get it from your colleague teachers, so that you are updated and you can become the current teacher who can be very, 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 very useful. So we need to update our skills every now and then in every aspect of life. Another conversion. I used to take the behavior of students a bit too personally. It could affect me. A student has misbehaved. And sometimes I take it like it's affecting me to a person. I came to realize we have to clearly state what is personal and what is professional. I don't have to be affected so much if a student has not done the right thing. But with calmness, I can be able to make the correction without taking it so personally. You know, sometimes I really depended much on punishing than guiding, because you feel like you are irritated. Why? You mean you can't understand this, or you cannot do this? Why are you doing that? At the end of the day, it hits back on me. But for those, I came to realize, and I handled them without that personal effect on me. It has been very, very, very successful in that particular area. Another mistake I want to confess that I have done as a teacher is that of comparing myself with other teachers. It's a bit embarrassing, but let me put it here that sometimes I could feel inadequate. I could feel like other teachers are better, or they have done better in one way or another, or they speak better, or they have more money than me, or they're more smarter than me. Until I came to realize that I am myself. I am myself. So I only do things that I feel are good for me now. It's a natural phenomenon. I'm sure people will try to compare themselves. Let me see this. I mean, his looks, his dressing, his wealth, his what. Now, I am my own self-teacher. I really don't have to compare unless it's absolutely necessary to use that as a stepping stone for my growth. Another confession. Suppressing my emotions. Yeah. Sometimes I could be stressed. Or stress is for everybody. As we said, we will always have stress in one way or another as you are human. But there is nothing as bad as keeping the stress within yourself. You close with yourself. You don't talk to people. You don't tell people about your frustrations. You don't talk about your feelings. You don't talk. You don't open up. I have been a victim of that, and now we are calling upon teachers. Open up. Don't keep everything to. Okay, there are people. Sometimes you don't have to open up to everybody. Get the right person. When you are in a school community, you know who you can open up to. Somebody who cannot expose you, somebody who cannot embarrass you, because you don't want all your frustration and secrets being open there. It's a common problem, I know, but you need to open up, because closing up has really affected so many people, and the results are not very, very good in the same. I also came to realize that sometimes we take small wins, or it's me. I used to take small wins carelessly, casually. I have come to learn that it's important to celebrate every small win that you make, that you achieve. If you move a job group, celebrate. Be happy. Take it as a landmark. If your school mean or if your subject mean has gone up, it's time to celebrate within yourself. Clap for yourself. Sometimes nobody will see that. Sometimes nobody will recognize that you've made a contribution and you need time to celebrate. It's you. Others, we are fond of waiting for mistakes and maybe saying, oh, we are not adequate, or we have a problem, or we are unable. No. There are so many wins you have made in life, and sometimes you may not have time to celebrate until you realize and recognize yourself. So, with others I've said, I've realized you cannot help people if you have not helped yourself as an individual, as a person. You cannot have an empty cup and you pour it to people. People will see a lot of nothing. You must have a full cup, or at least reasonably full, so that you can be able to share what you have with the others. Teacher Umbiro is here talking about his experiences as a teacher for over 30 years. It's time we open up. It's time we share as teachers or as educationists. Thank you so much. See you later.